Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before we begin, we'd like to give all praise, all glory, all honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Racha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of greatness, so surely do well. As always, we say Shalom unto the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
Right, these two are your brothers here from the house. I Yahushai, I'm the brother
Maya Shala.
and I'm the brother Isaiah, coming back to you with another video. Lord, will it be edifying to the elect? Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And we wanted to get into today, right, is a volume of the book, as we did one. It could be a while back now, it could be 3-4 months back. 3-4 months back. Right, I wanted to continue the series in which, using the volume of the book, we dispel or highlight certain things that would have to be canon or correct according to the doctrine we understand
And we teach.
and we teach certain, first and foremost, with the apostles and elders of great millstone, which in the first one we said using the volume of the book, right, the way in which the Lord set up the prophets, the things in which the prophets did and said, and the events which came after the prophets, we said using the volume of the book, Noah would have to be a prophet. Point blank, even though it does not expressly say, right, so using the volume of the book, we just use it to expressly say and determine certain things, right?
So Yahushai is the Son of God.
Exactly.
Right?
We could use the volume of the book to prove Mary wasn't a virgin. Right? We could use the volume. And I did a lesson, not highlighting it as the volume of the book, but using David as the volume. If you just highlight and pinpoint the instance with Mary and Joseph, right, and they don't highlight the volume of the book, meaning the entirety and the full compass of the book, and they leave out David, well, then the virgin birth could make sense. But then when you apply certain things like David, right, you go into the words, etc., you understand, there's no way in hell Mary could have been a virgin and that Joseph wasn't Yahushua's father.
Yeah.
Right?
Yahushai had to be related to David in some way.
In some way, form, or fashion. And we use the volume of the book and prove that the only way Yahushua could have been related to David, and I'm explaining the prophecy as well, that he had to come through the loins. Well, the only way coming through the loins is through what? Intercourse. Seed. And that seed is come, as Solomon said, through the pleasures of seed, meaning to have sex. Right? So with that being established, right, we wanted to use the volume of the book today. It says Tobit using the volume, right, or volume of the book. Tobit using the law is canon. Right?
The book of Tobit.
Yeah, the book of Tobit using the law is canon. So using the law, the aspect of the law, right? As I have this Numbers 27 from 1 loaded up for you all. Using the law, the book of Tobit would have to be canon. It's not faded, fake, it's not made up, it's not tampered with, right?
Ergo proven that the book of the Apocrypha is a canonical book and it's supposed to be in the Bible.
So we're using the law today to prove it with Tobit, right? So the first point we have up here, it says there was a law that was instituted by Moses, which would then take place throughout the Bible. So I'm gonna use, which I'm glad how I use in Tobit and the law, because it have 3 instances. I like to divide the Bible into 3 books: the Old Testament, the New Testament.
3 sections.
3 sections of the Old Testament, the New Testament, and the Apocrypha. But you could find this exact same law taking place in the Old Testament and the New Testament, and in the Apocrypha. So it taking place in the Old Testament and New Testament and in the Apocrypha validates Tobit. Right? So I said instituted by Moses, which would then take place throughout the Bible and specifically Tobit. The law in question, right, which proves that this would take place throughout the book, is starting from Numbers 1 and 27.
27 and 1.
27 and 1 to 1.
And this is the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 27.
Read from here. I have a note here in the sandwich. This is the cross-reference Bible. And the cross-reference Bible put a nice note here, so you can go ahead.
Right. Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hephah, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, which this writing style, the son of and the son of and the son of, all the way tracing back to the first father, right, in whom it is tied back to. You see this in Luke 1, Matthew 1. That speaks to a lineage, right? There's
Mm-hmm.
a specific writing style of the nation of Israel to what prove the house of your father, which we're gonna get later in the same point that we're referencing.
Mm-hmm.
Of the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, right? And these are the names of his daughters,
Daughters, right?
right?
Right.
Malah, Noah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah,
Right.
right?
So the a footnote here, so to go ahead.
Right, the daughters in the orders for the division of the land just given, no provisions had been made for females in case of failure of male issue.
Right, so this is the first time it's going to be implemented here because that was not brought up before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that situation never happened before in Israel, right?
Not saying it never happened before, but there wasn't a
Never
way to deal
highlight,
with it.
yeah,
This is now providing a way to deal with it.
right.
Right.
The 5 daughters of Zelophehad therefore considered themselves as destitute, having neither father nor brother, and being themselves entirely overlooked.
Which should they not have any husband, father, brother, etc. Or no, should they not have a husband, they're supposed to remain in the house of the fathers. And should the father die, the brothers are supposed to take care of them.
And acting instead of the father, making
Right.
sure they get married off.
All of that.
Right.
So if they don't have any male figure to ensure of that, that is why they could sit down and say they would be destitute.
Right. The names would have been erased out of Israel, which we're gonna go into. Right? And they agreed to refer the case to Moses and the rulers, whether it were not equitable that they should inherit their father's portion. This led to the enactment of an additional law to the civil code of Israel, which satisfactorily, right, ascertained and amply secured the right of succession in cases of inheritance. In cases of inheritance, this law, which is as reasonable as it is just, stands thus. Right. First rule: on the demise of the father, the estate descends to the sons. If there be no son, the daughters succeed. If there be no daughter, the brothers of the deceased inherit. If
So
there be,
let's say me and you, or we brothers,
right,
you have no children, right? You die, all that you have and belongs unto you, it passes to me. And I supposed to raise up seed to give you
to
give
give
your
back,
seed.
give me back everything.
Yeah, give back your inheritance to
Right,
you.
right.
Upon you know we this proves you ain't got come on. Man.
Just now. The lesson this. Please don't spoil it.
No, but come on, this proves
reincarnation.
Why go through all of this if once you die, that is a different?
How?
Why would you go through all of this if it's upon your death, upon your burial? You get nothing. You just go back to the spiritual realm, or the spiritual realm is either death or heaven. You could say if we have
hell or heaven.
Yeah. If this law is an enactment, this proves that reincarnation exists. Because what benefit would it be to you? To go through all of this if you don't have any benefit after that.
Exactly. But again, next thing, not more than just reincarnation, the whole hell doctrine. There clearly is life after death, because the Israelites and them. If you look at the overarching theme of the nation of Israel and the story that we're reading from Genesis, inclusive of the Apocrypha, all of the New Testament, all the way to Revelation, it doesn't seem as though anybody really believes that hell is real anyway.
Exactly.
That is our next question we had to raise. What the fuck are Christians talking about?
Some people let's even look and be happy for that. Especially when the Tobit, when he was suffering, because if you go into the book of Tobit in the 3rd chapter, he was suffering and he was telling the Lord that he just get rid of me.
Job, he would have rather been dead than been alive going through the things he was going through. So why would he wish death on himself if, especially according to you Christians, that is a sentence to hell? And not making no sense.
No.
Right? Rule 4. Right, verse 3, if there be no daughters, the brother of the deceased inherit, husband's brother. Right, rule 4, if there be no brethren or paternal uncles, the estate goes to the grand uncles or brothers of his father. Right, husband, brother. Right, your husband's brother.
But the brothers of his father, meaning let's say it's you,
or uncles,
and you don't have me.
Yeah.
They would then have to go to your father or our father's brothers. So we great uncles.
Right.
Not great uncles. We
uncles.
Uncles.
The brothers of your father, right? If there be no granduncles, then the nearest of kin succeeds to the inheritance. So just find a male.
Find a male. A male must be found out to seek out this inheritance to pass it to.
Right.
Go ahead.
Which we're gonna see that literally play out in the book of Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Beyond this fifth degree, the law does not extend because there must always have been some among the Israelites who could be called kings. So it never reached to the point that it ever went past having to look for the brothers of your father.
Exactly.
Right.
So this proves what? That Malachi 3:6. I am the Lord, I change not, therefore
the sons of Jacob are not consumed.
So
you
this
would be
idea-
consumed if you're not able to get all the
if you,
shit back.
if you don't get the men, if you have no men, you would be consumed. Hence the reason throughout scriptures mention of Esau when he's being consumed and when he's to be no more. Get rid
Wiping
of
out the seed and the ones who could be progenitors, the ones who could bring any culmination of Esau back.
I'll just back that quickly.
Isaiah 14.
Well,
20,
I had
no nephew, no son.
So well, yeah, that one. Jeremiah has it as well in Jeremiah 49 and 12.
No, he is not. Yeah, leave thy father's children. No, I think it's verse 10.
This one.
Yes,
this one. It says Jeremiah 49 and 10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed." It's important to do what? To spoil the seed, because the seed is what carry on the lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
Not meaning what? He's wiped out.
Mm-hmm. Leave thy fatherless. So you see, he's wiped out and wiped out the seed. But look what they say concerning everybody else. Leave thy fatherless children, I will preserve them alive, and let who? Your widows trust in me.
And the fatherless children, they're going to be preserved and left alive to what end? To go into slavery.
Exactly. So you understand, it's getting rid of the seed, right? So that's how we know. So this ideology, 144 is it? You know, some people pushing the ideology that the nation is no longer in the earth and all of that nonsense. This law disproves that. This explanation of this law here disproves it.
Ecclesiastes 4.
There's no end of
16.
people.
There's no end of the people.
Exactly.
Right.
Numbers 27 and 2. Right.
And they stood before Moses and before Eleazar the priest, and before the princes, right? The five daughters of named Zelophehad, right? And before the princes and all the congregation by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against Yahweh in the company of Korah.
So he was in, guilty, and the earth has sin, right? The earth didn't have to. Well, he was guilty of sin, but not
to swallow that specific sin. With the sons of Korah to be swallowed up, right?
Right.
But died in his own sin and had no sons.
Right. I mean, a transition to give you here.
Right. Rosenmuller translates this verse. Rosenmuller translates this verse as follows: Our father died in the wilderness, leaving no sons, nor was he among those who rebelled against Yahweh with Korah, who died on account of his own sin. Right? Professor Dath, however, understands by his own sin that sin which was common to all the Israelites who died on account of their unbelief.
Right.
Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family because he had no son?
So they understood the importance of having a seed
male heirs.
Right?
Male heirs, yeah.
Having male children, people used to rejoice at that. Right? People would rather have male children than females. Right?
Give unto us.
Not to discredit the females, because the females also provide labor in the household. The females are also necessary to even continue on the lineage as well. They need females. They need more females than men, in fact. Right. Yeah. But we know they understood the prize. The prize child was always a son.
Right. Especially being that first son as well.
The scripture talk about blessed is the womb and the child that opened in the matrix if it be a boy child. It's roughly paraphrasing. So the first child a woman ever makes is a boy child. Right? As that child is supposed to be consecrated unto the Lord.
Okay.
Right.
Samuel.
Samson. Yahweh.
Right. Give unto us therefore a possession among the brethren of our father. And Moses brought their cause before Yahweh, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, The daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren. Right? So the uncles and land take all the father shit. And thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them.
Right.
Right? And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a man die and have no son, then he shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. And if he have no daughter, then he shall give his inheritance unto his brethren. And if he have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren, your uncles. And if his father have no brethren, then he shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it, and it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute and judgment as Yahweh commanded Moses.
Right. So that is there, it's highlighted in Numbers 27, right? So it's going out in Numbers 36 from verse 1.
Because again, now it established. The point is so that your brothers don't go with all your shit. But what the Lord just gave Zelophehad brothers all his shit. But to what end? Because it eventually had to go to children after.
Yeah, to his daughters, and the daughters, which we're going to prove, right, had to marry someone close of kin to them for them to raise up seed unto the father.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Laws of female inheritance are the heading here in my Bible. We're going to read it from my phone here. And the children, and the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses and before the princes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel. And they said, Yahweh commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel, and my Lord was commanded by Yahweh to give the inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughters. Right? So there's the uncles speaking now. Right, go ahead. Also, read this. Right, the Lord commanded to one division of the tribe of Manasseh, a portion had been assigned eastward of Jordan, but Zelophehad was of that division, to which an inheritance was afterwards allotted west of Jordan.
Okay, now it had east and west Manasseh, right?
Right. Yet, expecting the promised land, the elders of the Manassites now propose a difficulty upon the adjudged case of Zelophehad's daughters, which you just read about. If the female should inherit in defect of male issue and should intermarry with other tribes.
See, this was also to stop the other tribes of having lots within other tribes.
Exactly.
So Judah, because if you say that was the case, you could have the lot, which we prove throughout scripture, when Israel corrupt, they will do abominable things. Let me just imagine a corrupt spirit that come upon the tribe of Judah, and they could have inherited the land of other tribes. All they had to do was go to the woman or kill out all the men from one tribe, right, and inherit all the possession from that tribe of the daughters. So all the women that would remain and have the possessions and the lots in their possession upon the death of the men, the children of Judah would then just have to go and have sex with all the women and claim all of that land for themselves.
So one day you could be looking at a map of Israel and seeing
just Judah.
Instead of seeing Ephraim, Dan,
Manasseh, all of that.
Simeon, Naphtali, Asher, everything is they Judah land now. No, so like just to add to that, have a righteous and not righteous or unrighteous, but have a double side to every coin, as Big Brother Abana always loves to pull out. It's not just if they decide that if a wicked spirit come upon them to do it, but also the Most High could put judgment on a whole tribe.
You could put
Judges 19.
Benjamin was a beautiful example of that. Imagine he didn't get rid of, and that's why he didn't get rid of all the Benjamins sooner, because then Benjamin would not be a tribe no more.
Exactly.
But imagine he did get rid of all the Benjamins. That could have been Judah land, that could have been Manasseh land. Right? To understand, this is why laws in place where things should be upheld in order.
Right.
Right.
Because that real out of that madness. Case in point, this highlighting perfectly why women are supposed to have more than one man.
Exactly.
Because imagine a woman who have lot of inheritance from she father who passed away, he had no sons, and she had multiple men. And they couldn't prove who make the first child because she ain't know.
Or let me say she did know, but still a lot of men, the man who's currently the husband, could claim, well, since she's currently my wife, that really belonged to me.
Because a woman is a possession of a man. But the reason I say as well, she couldn't prove it. Remember, this whole paternity test and all them kind of it didn't have none of that nonsense back in the day. So she could have either lie or genuinely didn't know she was at home. She wouldn't know who is that child who's supposed to get all that land and the inheritance.
And then imagine it's, as we see in here, is Manassite land, and the father is a Judite.
Like failure.
So you see that too much. But when it's one man and multiple women, that it have no question on who it belongs to.
Exactly, and
So
and
that-
that's why as they're gonna see it highlighted in this law, if you making sure to go to war somebody of your own kin.
kindred, because then a man from Judah could have a Manassite wife, Levite wife, Benjamite wife, and then he have lot and inheritance in a whole set of tribes.
Yeah,
But if all his wives are just at the tribe of Judah, that's not a problem.
exactly.
So you just have inheritance and rights in Judah land.
Right.
Go ahead.
And
It's
we
the
can,
females.
if the female should inherit in defect of male issue and should intermarry with other tribes, they would diminish the interest and weaken the influence of their own tribes, right? And give occasion to future confusion and
Exactly.
perhaps contention. And point just to make the way now make with the Judah thing, it would just be if all the wives was Judahite wives, all I would still go back to Judah in terms of Judah as a tribe, but
Yeah.
also as well understanding, especially if you're raising up seed onto another man, that man still get to keep his shed because
Exactly.
the son he would make would inherit all way to his Judah ready to give him.
Exactly. So it just had a
The
upon-
Judahite man would be
you
ready to
just
give.
had a lot. When it's time for you, which it have the scriptures prove that Israelites, if you go into the book of Tobit as well, Israelites is deal with the business. Upon the death or the perceived time they're ready to die, right? They just write up the will, they just write up everything they had to write up.
It's a procedures put in place for situations like this.
It
Yeah.
have procedures put in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see royal people in here. Nobody can tell me who have the. Let me get a Deuteronomy 4.
Deuteronomy, for this is your wisdom, your knowledge, insight, and the nations. Exactly, yep.
But I want to get the highlight.
They shall say this is a wise
What-
and
yes,
Deuteronomy 7.
Yeah,
And
Deuteronomy
what
4,
more?
4
what-
from 7 to 8.
Right.
It says, "For what nation is there so great, who had power so nigh unto them, as the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all power is in all things that we call upon him for."
Right.
And
Like
what na-
answers to
yeah,
these difficult
look at that.
questions, what
As
to do with
what
these
to do.
situations.
And he gave a detailed explanation on what to do with everything. And look, they still came back. And look, we're going to give you another detailed explanation.
Okay.
Verse 8. "And what nation is there so great that had that had statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law, which I said before you this? Who could judge a matter like this save Israel?
Can.
Nobody
Can.
other than Israel. You even have a matter on a law on how to judge rape. We know we have a law on how to judge every single thing within the world. We supposed to be who you know royal like this, even in wars. It had online wars. When David
have a
and-
right, it have a right and wrong way to do everything. And
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, the only ones who were taught the right way and both experienced the wrong way as well was the nation of Israel. Which nation was taught these laws? None of them. Because again, if this shit is to happen amongst the heathens,
It's a whole confusion.
Elam always fighting for land.
Oh,
Always fighting for land. Or
Before
this
you
one get chopped up,
understand.
this one get. If you're living in Trinidad, you can
what
understand.
we're speaking about. They always have to fight for land. Why? Because they don't have this. They Deuteronomy 4 from 1 till 8, book 4 from 1 till 6, they don't have that. So they will always scrap and fight and chop each other and kill each other for land and all of that nonsense. We don't have to. We are greater than everyone that walks is it. Every other nation that walks is it, Israel is the greatest.
Can.
Don't tell us otherwise. Back to Numbers 36 and verse 2, where we are, there continue.
Right.
Yeah, the
Right,
Manasseh.
the Manassites therefore referred the case to Moses.
So you see, it has second and third opinions.
Can.
And these other people don't have second and third opinions, you know. It's just if they want someone dead to get their shit, they kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And
most of
so
the
like-
time, the person who really, if we apply the law in this situation, I'm guaranteed, if we apply the law in this Elamite situation, I'm guaranteed the person who gets the land more often than not is the person that wasn't deserving of it.
can.
Right?
And he, by the authority of power, annexed a clause which would effectually keep the tribes and inheritances distinct.
As long as it was what?
Observed. As
So
long
that's
as
the
it was
problem with the
observed.
nation of Israel. They just didn't give a fuck to keep it.
Can.
Now we in this shit show. Go
Can.
ahead.
heiresses were not allowed to marry out of their own tribe, so emotions and feelings, fuck that.
Yeah.
Do the correct thing. Though within those bounds, they might consult their own inclinations.
Which should have given me say so to go and pick whichever husband they wanted, but it's within a certain amount. So they couldn't go all across Israel and find the
Yeah,
nicest.
go among the family of where you belong and find the nearest kin.
Yeah. Other than that, that's the only choice we say you had in the matter.
Yeah, because as a read law, I don't you're gonna see they was actually given the choice into whom they wanted to marry. Right. Verse 3, and if they be married to any of the sons of the tribes of the children of Israel,
Of the other tribes.
sorry, and if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, the issue at hand, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received.
Right.
So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance.
So they couldn't go and fuck around and fuck up. That is why there's men in Israel before they were supposed to be the head of the household. They didn't play. Especially with this, they use the example of the rape doctrine. There's a man money you're messing with. There's a man inheritance you're messing with. There's a man future plans you're messing with. You can't go
that is a man name in Israel you're messing with, because now he could become a laugh and stuff.
Yeah, all of this is why women was never supposed to play the harlots and have say. Right? When men govern and things like this, you have no say. You have too much at stake. The only thing you gambling with and you care about in a situation like that when is a dumbass bitch is your emotions and feelings. Now a man might have emotions and feelings in the situation, but we looking at things from a logical perspective. Hey, if you go and fuck this up, I had plans since 5 years back. Our contract in a box buried beneath the. I telling you, no, literally when you go to the book at Tobit, that a contract. I walking around with a signature ready to stamp that contract and sign it off because he have a son, right? Since we talk about 10 years back, 5 years back.
Since you're born.
Since you born. I promise this man you when you reach the certain age and to get married, right? And he and his family we sit down and we discuss and we say, all right, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get this. We do all of that for you come here to tell about your emotions and madness. You cannot fuck that up. And this is why your lot will be taken out. This is why you had no say. So you really and truly what Moses did here was carry back the say so of the lot and the inheritance to who? Because the daughters inherited it,
but was to what end?
Give it back to the father. Point blank period.
Ultimately, again, understanding reincarnation, the father would come back and get his shit in the end. On top of that, especially with that Deuteronomy 22 law again, that touchy subject, because I don't understand. If she cry out if that happened to she, that man, we had to find him, and we had to put butter on the bread. It was a serious thing. It was literally lives in the balance here.
Yeah, money, lives. Is that too much? These two great about holy people. These are royal people. I tell you, this is only happen with royalty.
The blood food for the blood
food
and everything
for all the treasure just somewhere hidden where people just find out and they're supposed to find out because I hide that too. It had too much at stake for the nation of Israel for we to apply emotions in a lot of situations.
And to not have laws and instructions on how to operate with when these matters come up.
Exactly.
Verse 4, yeah. And when the Jubilee of the children of Israel,
you even have a Jubilee. Right. So if you sell your land, because you could have sell your land if you was becoming waxing poor, right? And you need to make money, right? To provide for your family and make sure you end up destitute. You could have sell your land, and even after you sell your land, in the year of the Jubilee, you have to get back everything that belongs to you. Who have this? Come on, man. Who have this in the 8th?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 4, and when the Jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall their inheritance be put unto the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received, so shall the inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. Right? And Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of Yahweh, saying, the tribe of the sons of Joseph had said well. So they investigated this matter properly and they understood what was at stake. This is the thing.
Let me see what the 25 thing. Let's see.
Right. This is verse 6. This is the thing which Yahweh doth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best, only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry.
So the tribe is Manasseh, but then from Manasseh, let's go back quickly to Numbers 27. is Manasseh, then Machir, then Gilead, then Hepher, then Zelophehad. So of the house of Zelophehad. So you had limited choices anyway. You think you had a choice
Yeah,
here?
because again, couldn't marry anybody else of the family of Levi who then fall in Zelophehad, right? So Hepher and Gilead, forget that, right?
Go ahead.
Right, who they
7.
think is best. So shall not the inheritance of the tribe of Israel be moved from tribe to tribe for everyone, so
It's
that,
even have a law with saying shall not remove the landmark.
or the borders.
Exactly, go ahead.
For every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his fathers. And every daughter that
Exactly
was,
this point, eh? Right.
that is, he shall not endeavor to obtain any part of the inheritance of another tribe by marrying an heiress.
You see? You
So you
see?
can't be a scumbag little piece of shit.
Go ahead.
Right, verse 8. And
If we
every
know this, come on. That laws which the Lord set up, which you know it would have contention and feud.
you'd be looking like Elam.
Yeah,
This
be that-
one draw cutlass and this one and a woman land.
like this.
And the
opposite
most
like
I
this.
see in these things, he know what he doing in much knowledge and he created it.
Exactly.
Right? Verse 8. And every daughter that possesseth an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his fathers. So how could a dead man enjoy anything? Reincarnation.
Good.
Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe, but every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance, even as Yahweh commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. For Malah, Tirzah, Hoglah, and Milcah and Noah and the daughters of Zelophehad were married unto their fathers' brothers' sons.
So the cousins.
Their cousins.
Right.
Right? So that is a lawful marriage. Right? Jacob, Rachel, and Leah.
Yeah.
When you read Leviticus 18, we shall not approach any that is near unto kin. Sorry, near
of kin.
and near kinsman unto him, right? And understanding that, after it explained that they cannot approach anybody near of kin, it then went on to describe who that was applying to, right? And they were married, and it never described what cousins were, right? So that is a lawful marriage. Verse 12. And they were married into the families of the sons of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, and their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father. These are the commandments and the judgments which Yahweh commanded by the hand of Moses unto the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho.
No. It was explained already, but I had two other precepts to add to this point and go close here and then bring out other parts to it, right?
Right.
So this is Ezra, which book I just clicked? Ezra, Ezra 2 and 59, which this highlights, right? We had the law. We had the law to highlight the importance of these things here, right? Go ahead. Because it's not just to stop the nation of Israel from having too much, right? Like Judah couldn't have the whole land of Manasseh, right? And and Judah couldn't have the whole land of Ephraim, but it was also to stop the heathens from getting a lot of portion within the nation of Israel. Right? Go ahead.
This is book of Ezra
From verse 59.
Right, Ezra chapter 2 verse 59. These were they which went up from Tel Melah, Tel Hasa, Cherub, Adan, and Immer, but they could not shew their father's house and their seed whether they were of the house of Israel. Whether they were of Israel.
Because this was when there was returning back to the land. So should they have not tried or attempted to get the lineage or the papers or the proof that these people were of the nation of Israel, heathens could have had lot of inheritance in the nation of Israel.
Had to be able to prove where it's from to stop heathens from inheriting the land.
So now it also happened in Nehemiah 7 and verse.
Yes, sir.
But it's the same instance. It's the same thing.
Yeah, so like not to cut you off, but seed or pedigree, as Numbers 1 says.
Yeah, I did here.
Oh, you have it there? Yeah, so like.
Numbers 1.
Even
have it there, have it in separate colors.
Yeah, why is it important? This entire, like Chronicles, yeah.
Yeah, but okay.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So all Israel reckoned by genealogies And behold, they were written in the book of the kings of Israel and Judah, who were carried away to Babylon for their transgression. So what? They kept record of who was who even when they went into slavery. Right, to what extent? Because the day that we would return, what everybody have right and could claim, hey, that is mine and that is mine. Right?
So now to close, we can go to that book of Numbers and make sure that's the next one I had there. Okay, go. Right, Numbers 1 from 1 to 4, and then we jump to 18.
Right. This is the book of Numbers.
And I'll see if it have any notes here with it as well. Right. Numbers from 1 to 4.
Right, this is the book of Numbers, chapter 1. I'm reading from verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the second month, in the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take ye the sum of all the congregation, so take number, take record, the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families, by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their posts.
Which this proves, as we just conjectured with the Jeremiah 49 and verse 10 and 11 and 12, that what?
You see, the man who was carried the seed was carrying the family name.
And you're numbered according to your father.
Yeah, there is a nation. Yep. Verse 3 from 20.
Because if that was the case, if that wasn't the case, sorry, David could have been a Moabite.
Solomon, son, Rehoboam,
could have been, I can't remember which nation he said the concubine was from, but he could have been of that. Well, then how could he sit on the throne?
Moses' son, Gershom. He made him, right? Moses made his son
the lady from
Midian, right? The daughter of the Midianites, priest Jethro. So who woman you're born of as a man irrelevant, right? This thing going through the seed bags, right? Verse 3, from 20 years old and upwards, so the ones who were able to be numbered, right? All that were able to go forth to war in Israel, so the numberings being done according to what the men who were of fighting age, right? The ones eligible to be warriors, thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies, right? Again, and you'll see this constantly throughout the scriptures. What they used to list the number of men, right, beside women and children, right? And not to say he's a child if he's not 20 years of age as yet, because we know according to the scriptures and according to the understanding that is applied, from the time he is 12 years an adult.
But to go to war.
But to go to war, then they're making sure saying armies, right? So with the numbering, it was what? Fighting age men. If it wasn't to that age yet, it was not accounted in this as yet.
But from the age of 12 and up, as a man, as a male
or a woman, adult.
Adult. Well, women is from when they have the period. Some women just have a little bit earlier, and some people just have a little bit later. But a man, it's 12. So from 12 up is a man, but from 20 is when you're able to go to war. Go ahead, verse 4.
Verse 4. Heads of tribes of Israel, and with you there shall be a man of every tribe, every one head of the house of his father.
So now we'll jump down to verse
18.
From 16.
So, in fact, I could, from verse 16. So,
because from verse 5 to 16 is the number element.
It's a lack, Verse 16, these were the renowned of the congregation, princes of the tribe of their fathers, heads of thousands in Israel. So the head of the house, right? The man of whom his the name and the whole tribe fallen upon, and the one tasked with carrying the name, the taking of the census, the head in here, and Moses and Aaron took these men which are expressed by their names, and they assembled of the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls.
Which I could just read this footnote here. It says from 20. In this census, no women were reckoned, no children, no minors, no strangers, no Levites, no old men, right? Which collectively must have formed an immense multitude.
Which, why is it important that it says Levites here? Because the Levites had no inheritance in terms of land amongst the nation of Israel. Yahweh said it. I am their inheritance.
No were they able to go to war.
Exactly.
No, not saying they can, because the book of the Maccabees is a different story. But
and it had mighty men from the tribe of Levi as well.
So not saying they can't.
They were the one tasked with the priestly duties amongst the nation of Israel. So there wasn't really numbered in this. Right? No, so like it finished. No old men, which collectively have formed an immense multitude. The Levites alone amounted to 22,300
and
men.
I just see like the able-bodied men who were able to go to war.
Can.
Go ahead.
Verse 19. As Yahweh commanded Moses, so he numbered them in the wilderness of Sinai.
Verse 20, and we're close.
And the children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son, by their generations after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, by their polls, according to the number of the names by their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, all that were able to go forth to war.
Alright. So Lord will, right, first part of the video, Lord will, this video was edifying to the elect, including the acting Canon, Yahweh, Basham Yahushai, Basham Machar Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great news, soon surely do well. As always, we say Shalom to the elect. This is a couple of brothers from here, Yahushai, come the brother,
Maya Shala,
and I'm the brother Isaiah saying Shalom. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.